Okay, people. This is like May 7th, 2000 and... what is it called? 19. Look at this. What is this? All these empty cop cars. Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. That's what I rolled up to. It's like all these cop cars with no cops in them. Look at this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 so far. Just 6 right there. Like there's absolutely no cops in any of these vehicles. Why didn't they do this for Chimay, people? This is what they needed to do for Chimay. So that's number 6. 7. 8. 8 cop cars. And not one cop. Don't know where the cops are. They're somewhere though. Empty. Empty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the way right down to my house. And no cops. Everyone is empty. Like, where are all the cops? Where did they go? You don't see no doors open. Nobody screaming. No drama. Nothing. Just a bunch of cop cars. Now that's just some strange shit. Don't you think? Look at this. Look how he just rolled up in here and screech. Parked his vehicle. This is what they did when Wesley got beat up by that, there's the little house now. Can you see what's going on with it now? It's not a little house anymore. It's a big monster home now. Anyway, Wesley got beat up by the gas station. He got jumped by a bunch of dudes. And they kicked in his head or something, stomped on his head and stuff. Long story short, he went back to the little house, right? But, you know, he was there for a bit. He went home. That's what he did, people. He went home. And then an hour or so after getting there, back to the little house. This is the very end of it, right? What do you call it? His head was hurting so bad. He ended up going to the hospital. But by that time, it was too late. Because he had major brain injury and damage and hemorrhaging. And he ended up dying that night. And so the cops, they came to the little house looking for his girlfriend. And then they put the house on lockdown. I actually had videotape of it, but it wouldn't upload onto my computer for some reason. I was having problems. So I ended up having to delete the whole thing. And they had the little house on complete lockdown for over 24 hours with the cars outside, with the flashing lights and everything. And they did a search warrant on it. And this is like at the very tail end. Wesley had his shirt hanging up on the wall, and you know, he was kind of keeping an eye on the property, just making sure nobody was busting in there and squatting and stuff, right? And well, there they came from somewhere. I don't know where they came from, but they came from somewhere. So anyway, they should have done that for Chimay, people. You guys should have done this for my daughter. That's what should have happened. 8 cars, no noise, nothing. It's peaceful around here. It looks like they're... Whoa, this camera. Somebody's giving me a camera, people. It's coming in the mail. They're down there. I don't know why they're parked up here to be down there. That doesn't make any sense. Can you see? Way down there. Oh, they arrested somebody. Somebody ran off and got arrested. I don't know. The mayor of this city is trying to get rid of these guys. He doesn't want the RCMP policing the city of Surrey of British Columbia, Canada anymore. He's trying to bring in local police. I don't know exactly what that means, but anyway, hold on. Okay, people. So now it is April 7, 2019 at about 11:36 in the evening. So, I'm going to put the 8 cop cars out in front first. So you'll see that, and then you'll see me. Okay? But the reason I'm here is because I want to talk about CIBC Bank. Seriously, people, I went to the bank today, okay, to get a simple printout for myself on my account. And while I was there, it dawned on me that, what do you call it? I should check up on Andre's account, because that's on lockdown, right? To see where the status was in terms of, okay, Uncle John died January so-called 12 of 2018. One day before he went into the hospital within a 3-year period of a span. So, he's been gone for January, February, March, April, 12, 15. So, he's been gone for 15 months. Like, dead. Okay? Now, Andre's account, every 6 months or so, I throw in $5, right? Because, what do you call it? So that it doesn't go dormant, people. And then once it goes dormant, they write it off. CIBC Bank will get that $92. And as I'm looking at this, there's something wrong here. I see $90.40 as of today for this account, which it should be $92. So what happened to $2? I'm pretty sure it's $92. And then I did a $5 deposit, right? Because if I don't do that deposit every 6 months or so, bank systems, it doesn't matter if it's a nonprofit, personal account, trust account, the system kicks in, and then it will go towards closing the account. And then the bank or the account, manager, they inherit that money. So, $92 on an individual is not a lot of money in the great grand scheme of things, in terms of like Uncle John inheriting $200,000. And, okay, just give me some time. The camera's not rocking on it, right? Somebody's giving me a new camera. Somebody's bought me a camera or given me a camera. I'm not too sure yet. All I know is I'm getting a camera, and right? I'm looking for something, because this is so important. Seriously. Okay, so first of all, I go to the bank. I'm not even thinking about Andre's account. But for some reason it crossed my mind, and I thought I could simply, I'm a subscriber. I'm an official subscriber with Uncle John to that account. We opened up that account when Andre was wrongfully, illegally apprehended from MCFD back in 2013. And I borrowed money on my life insurance, people. It was $3,800 or whatever it was. On my life insurance policy, I borrowed that money. We opened up an account, and then I started using that money basically to start filing a lawsuit against the provincial government because, one, I didn't qualify for a lawyer to help me to fight for my grandson in court. And I had nothing, right? So that was what I started off with in terms of anything that was court related. It started with Andre. Right? And so anyway, John and I had always intended to put money in there, but things add up very quickly. Right at one point, I probably bought some groceries. That's how I bought my wipeout boards and the pens and the paper and the binders and more paper and tons of ink and just, so on and so on and so on and so on. Just stimulating the economy that way, right? So, then of course, Uncle John went missing, right? It was okay for the bank to accuse me of things, but not stand up with that accusation in a court setting outside of what they've got prepared for me when I do show up at court, right? Because that video that they took down, this is what CIBC Bank is protecting, clearly shows that they're just doing a Fraser Health Authority in terms of, I'm the one that's frivolous, I'm the one that's scandalous, I am the one that is the court's waste of time, and I am bound to fail, right? Because they will have an experienced lawyer that will come in and say, well, Mr. Duncan said to take this $200,000 and put it over there, even though, where did he live, people? He lived in a institutionalized environment in terms of a care home of some type. At first he was with his sister for the first year, but that was only just to take care of the paperwork. And most of the time he probably sat up in the bedroom by himself because there was only 2 people in that place outside of her daughter. So, Uncle John was by himself. So anyway, I found what I'm looking for. Okay, so the point is Uncle John and I, we opened up that account for all the right reasons. And then, as I work on the nonprofit, I built in a program. And I used my family as the first stepping stone for multiple families, for multiple years, to benefit from. Right? And so I put Andre's story up on the website, and I opened up a PayPal. And one time, I checked it, and there was actually money in there, and it had been sitting in there for a long time, because at first it was $32. When I closed the account, well, I didn't close the account. When they took Uncle John, it was at $32. Something like that. And then, because I had depleted it, right, over, a period of time for fighting for Andre, and we never did bring it back up. But the point is, it was still there. And, it's been a long day, people. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. Been running around. I'm in the yard. I've been in the yard. Oh. Okay. So, we know that we opened it up in good faith with the bank. We trusted the bank. We had been with them since 1990. We had no reason to think that the bank would go against us as clients in terms of what they did for that $200,000. I'm just rounding it off compared to that $32 that Andre had in his trust account. And when they took John and closed his account and took over his money, I could deposit into it, but I couldn't withdraw. Right? And we know that anything and everything is pending until I get back to court. And the judge will probably say, well, Miss Charney, it looks like you've abandoned this, and you've been negligent not to follow up on the request of CIBC Bank to submit the documents. So, it's an automatic default for dismissal. Let's just cut to the chase, right? I'll deal with that time when that time comes. So I'm not worried about that. What I wanted to know was, now that Uncle John's been dead for 15 months, what happened to that account? I hadn't put any money in it for a while. Like I said, I try and make sure I keep up with that 6-month mark so that they can't come back to you and say, oh, it went dormant. And because it went dormant, we've taken the money and we put it into the Federal Reserves through that bank account up over there. And, your $92 is only a fraction of the tens of thousands of $92 that are being robbed from the public, people. That's the point of this video. It's the principle. It is the principle. They robbed Andre of $92. First it was $32, and then a year, 2, 3 years later, after whatever it was after actually Uncle John was gone, so a year and a half or whatever it was, I decided to go check the PayPal because my son was helping me with something. There was money there. He clicked yes. Next thing you know, there was an extra $50 in Andre's account. So then it jumped up somehow to $92. There should be $92 in there. 92 rings in memory, not 90. But besides that point, I'll have to go into my files and bring up the old bank statements, right? So, he's been dead. This is what I accused CIBC Bank, alleged, whatever you want to say, in terms of, you hijacked my grandson's trust account. Plain and simple, bottom fucking line. Right? And you're just playing the waiting game now. As you continue to accuse me of things without standing in front of a judge and having a fair trial. Because they know I can't get a lawyer. They know it. That's why they do it. But they'll throw their whole team of lawyers at you if you challenge them on their policies, or on their accusations, or on their ability to own up to their... when Uncle John was medically kidnapped, I came to the bank with my information, right? It wasn't like I hadn't had a history with that bank. I requested a copy of the enduring power of attorney, and they told me to go get a freaking lawyer, knowing that I couldn't get a lawyer, as they threatened me with lawyers when I asked them to do their job in terms of investigate with what happening with Uncle John. But they didn't care about that, people. What they cared about was $200,000. Not the $32 that was in Andre's account. Well, I haven't forgotten about Andre's account any more than I have forgotten about Uncle John. So I went to the bank today to get a printout on my account, and I thought, okay, I have a few moments to spare, right? I can make inquiries in terms of making the $5 deposit to keep that account active so they can't pull it out from underneath me no matter how hard they're trying. They haven't been successful at it yet, okay? Maybe with other people they are, but they haven't been with me. And it's a trickle-down effect. And this is what I wrote in my notice of claim. They're not only fucking with Andre's account, but they're fucking with HSBC bank account. They're fucking with Van City fucking bank account, which is connected to the foundation. And it makes me look like a freaking idiot. Okay? Because everything's on lockdown, right? What's the best way to control somebody? Keep them depressed. So, I thought, okay, I have a few moments to spare, right? And, so I'll, what do you call it? I'm getting kind of mad. I'll just follow up, see what they did with Uncle John's signature, since they have such control of it. right? Because it requires John's signature to release these funds, which 50 of those dollars was donations through PayPal off of the website that I have in relation to the wrongful and illegal apprehension of Andre. But Andre doesn't need a lawyer anymore, so we turned it into a trust account. And then through him, other trust accounts can develop for other children as the program develops. But CIBC Bank took care of that. Nothing's going to develop. Right? It's going to go in, all that money for all those little trust accounts is all going to be shipped off to freaking head office in Canada in the CIBC bank system. Right? Because they can't just pocket it. They have to send it somewhere after they take it. And they basically have taken it, people. And I called them on it today. I went in there for my own shit. Thought I had a few moments to spare, find out what they've done with Uncle John's signature. I simply asked, I said to the teller, I would like, one, a printout in terms of the balance, assuming that there would be a balance, because I don't know, right? Because I can't remember the exact last time I put that last $5 in. It could have been in October. Maybe 6 months has passed. Maybe we're going into the 7th month and they decided, that's it, it's closed, fuck off. Just like, John's gone, fuck off, right? So, she's like, I said, okay, well, I want to put $5 in because, I need to keep this account active. And I want a printout. This is what I said. I said, I want a printout. Not this, people. This is not what this is what they settled to give me. And this little piece of paper was nothing but a fucking argument. Okay? And it's the wrong piece of paper. All right? What do you call it? Let me just gather my thoughts. Well, what do you mean? She says. I said, well, I want a printout of the status of this account in terms of what's listed in regards to signing authority. John's dead. He's been dead 15 months. So how have the rules changed now? Right? Because I want to access this account. I want to get the fuck out of this bank. But the thing is, the minute I go to a different bank, all the privileges that I have with CIBC Bank in terms of, you deposit a check, you can take out so much money, you can use your card, things that you earned over being a customer since 1990 versus going to a new bank and then, you deposit a check and you have to wait for 7 fucking days before you can even get $100 out of it. Like, I don't got time for that, people. I'm tired. Right? I don't want to have to start transferring everything, but in the meantime, this account's still sitting there, right? What am I going to tell Andre? CIBC Bank robbed your trust account? You never had one? You were destined to fail? You were bound to fail, Andre? Right? Is that what I'm supposed to tell him? You never had a trust account? Nobody ever thought about you? Nobody. Oh, you never had an Uncle John. He never thought about you. Your grandma never thought about you. We just want you to grow up, be homeless on the fucking street like the rest of the hood rats in the community, right? The ones that are walking around with $32 bank accounts. Is that it? So, but nothing, it's pretty kosher right now with the teller, eh? And then she goes, oh, well, you need a death certificate in order to be able to take his name off. In other words, I can't take off his name unless I can go to the bank and prove with the bank with the fucking death certificate that John's dead. And now I'd like to have control of my grandson's trust account. Because CIBC Bank has made it impossible for me to have that privilege, even though my name is at the same time registered with John on the same day, as in joint. Doesn't sound like joint to me. It sounds like it's been freaking hijacked. And I said, well, I don't have a death certificate. You know, she said something. And I said, no, I want a printout. My name is on there. You give me a printout. So she did, people. She gave me not this, but a more, they call it internal for their records, right? And then because my account is flagged, you know, the bees started buzzing. They picked up on it because as soon as they see me, they fucking know, right? Well, they don't fucking know, but they're knowing. It's been too many years. It's like an old movie, right? Because it's that fast, people. So somebody comes to her and starts, right? Because now that I got what I want in my hand. And I was simply waiting for her to deposit the $5 into the account so I could move on. Because it said what it needed to be said in terms of it still requires John's signature to sign it, to close the account or to do whatever with me. Nothing can be done without his signature. Even though it's in my name. And they know John's dead because he's been dead for 15 months. So the discussion got more heated because now these busybodies are asking for the paperback that she had given me. And I'm not cluing in. I'm oblivious. I thought they just... So I gave her the paper. And then another girl came and interjected and was asking questions or whatever. And then I just got kind of mad, right? And I said, look, I know you guys are recording me with your cameras, right? And what do you call it? I know that now that I've been here and there's been conflict based on the pattern of CIBC Bank. I wouldn't be surprised if the lawyer for CIBC Bank doesn't send me something in the mail in the next week to 2 weeks. And I told her that because we were getting a little huffy now because I was asking for the piece of paper back and then they refused to give it back to me and said that I wasn't allowed to have it after they had already given it to me. And it was just a simple fucking request just so that I knew for myself where the status was with that account before I went back into court with some fucking lawyer that wants to stand next to Andrew the Dragon. Okay? I think I have a right to know that. My name is on there. But they don't want to hear that. They just want to tell me I can't have that information because it's privileged. Go get a lawyer. I said, go get a lawyer. I said, hell, I already filed a lawsuit. Woman said, what? You filed a lawsuit? I said, fucking right. Well, I didn't say fucking. Then the other one tried to accuse me of swearing. She got all insulted. Oh, well, you were swearing. No, I didn't. I said, go watch your cameras. I wasn't freaking swearing. Right? So anyway, I said, now you're the victim because what? I so-called swear? What about Andre and his future? What about Uncle John losing his family? Right? Kind of was getting there, right? Said to some old man, the next teller over, to be careful and watch that fucking bank. He looked at me. I'm pretty sure he understood. So anyway, and then it got to the point where what this says is what I didn't want because what they had first gave me had the information on there because I briefly looked at it and I was satisfied with it and I was just going to put it with the rest of my shit, right? And what do you call it? They refused to give it back, so now I got another girl standing there posing as a manager, writing it fucking down. Hold on a minute. We'll just cover up this number here. Okay. Do you see that? Did you see what she did? Look what she did. Okay, she wrote this here. Right? That's what she wrote, people. And when I looked at that, it says multiple signatures required on this account, Judy Chorney and John Duncan. I simply asked her to initial it and timestamp it, right? Because if you're not going to give me the photocopy that you had just given me and taken away, and then you're going to write something down, and I said, anybody could have did that. I need you to put your signature on there, or at least an initial, right? Something to say that it was you, so that when it goes to court, I can just hand it over to that lawyer and he'll know exactly who to go talk to. If they don't bring in the video and try and make it look like I'm attacking their tellers for simply asking for a fucking photocopy of the status of my grandson's trust account, which has a measly $90 in it. All right. And she refused to put her initials down. She flat out fucking refused. I told her, you know, I could have wrote that. Anybody could have wrote that. How do I know that's true? You take responsibility for what you're telling me, since you won't give me what I need, even though my name is on that account. And I have been held hostage for 15 months. And then some. Oh, you have my card. You have my card. There's my card, people. Let the world fucking see your card. There's your card. Now, is CIBC Bank going to come in here and take down this video too? Because I put this bank manager's card up on fucking line because she wants to sit up there and have bad people skills? Because my account is flagged by the very one that would be wanting to take down the very fucking video that I'm doing right now on their behalf. Like, this is stupid, people. Very, very stupid. So I told him, I said, okay, you want to play like that? That's fine. It's obvious when I come to this bank, I need to make sure I have something to record your... I didn't say asses, but I'll say it now. I have something to record your asses. If you're going to be up there recording me fucking right, I'm going to start recording you. I tried to compose myself as best as I could. You know, like I said, I have been doing other things. I don't got time to be fiddling around with stupid idiots that, you know, think that they're doing such a great, grand job when in fact they're not. And, what do you call it? When I left, you know, of course, security was kind of sniffing around, right? Like I said, they know me. They know I'm not, you know, a bad person or anything per se in terms of like, you know, I'm not, I might get verbally somewhat aggressive, and I have a right to be, right? I have a right to be, people, especially when you're getting ignorant shit. They give you what you want, basically. I mean, I didn't have a chance to study it, but like I felt satisfied in terms of it just clarified that it was requiring still his signature and my signature. But he's been gone for 15 months in terms of actual physical death, not to mention from the time that he was illegally, medically kidnapped. Right? As they're mocking me. Well, go get a lawyer. Well, we know that's not going to happen, but I did file a lawsuit. Oh, really? You did? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, and I'm not fucking afraid to say it. So, anyway, I don't know. This is stupid. Like, stupid. It's just stupid.